All right. Well, it's 1:30. Everybody, thank you for joining the Volley Partner Enablement live stream. We are really excited to have everybody here, talk about all of our new products, talk about everything cool that we're doing in the space, anything new that we have coming up. Um, Joining with me today is Mr. Josh Schluep. And right now,
Everybody.
it looks like his video is not there right now. There it is. Welcome back. All right. Josh is here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Real quick, Josh, why don't you just give a quick, brief introduction for yourself, just in case anybody new doesn't know you. I'm sure that's not the case, but just in case, go ahead.
All right. Well, for those of you who may not know me, my name is Josh Schluep. I'm the Director of Channel and Sales here at Volli Communications. Been with the company for 2.5 years full time, but did a part time position with the company since 2020. So 4.5 years total. So
Oh, awesome. And so, what would you say most of your day consists of? What are you usually dealing with? Are you more channel? What's a typical day for
Yeah,
Josh look like?
so director of all channel here for Volley Communications. So for those of you who don't know, Volley is a 100% indirect in everything that we do. Everything that we do from a sales perspective, sales enablement, and everything like that is to power our indirect team, whether it be through a TSD like Intelisys or through some more of our strategic partnerships with Fortinet and some other global companies as well. But yes, 100% of my focus and effort is in the indirect space. We
And
don't house. I don't.
yeah.
I don't have a direct sales team, which has always been a great point for our partners because they never have to be concerned about volleys selling against them.
I love it. Anybody, guys, that's who Josh is. That's what he does. He is part of the dream team here. He's one of the biggest reasons why we are, we're kind of where we're at today. So I'm gonna have Josh is gonna do the presentation for us. He's gonna kind of go into, what we do, who we are. He'll give a brief history, and I'll have a couple questions for him after as well. But then, if anybody else has any questions, I know a few people have sent me some in a private message. But if you have any questions, please just type it in on the LinkedIn live stream. Go ahead and let us know what you want to know. So go ahead, Josh. Go ahead and dive in. Let everybody know what it is that we do.
Well, I think it's important. First, we've been in the business a long time, but we still get a number of partners and customers, or customers that partners bring saying, "Who is Volley Communications? I've never heard of you guys before. We've been in business for 15 years, but we didn't really sort of have our coming out party until maybe 2.5 years ago when Travis and I really got heavily involved with Volley and growing the brand Volley outside of the wholesale market that we initially started in. So I think it's important for us to do events like this where it's sort of a reintroduction, a new introduction, and then also an introduction to what products that we have that we feel are sort of not cutting edge per se, but sort of an additional value add for our partners and our resellers and to their customers. So that being said, let me go ahead and do a quick screen share here. Bear with me. I'm first time using this platform. Okay, Trav, are you seeing my screen okay? Or is everybody else out there seeing the screen okay? Yes? No?
I was muted.
Oh,
I can see your screen, but I cannot see the presentation yet.
okay. Let me know when it's up. Am I sharing the right screen? I'm sorry, folks.
Guys,
Again,
I sprung this on Josh. This is actually on me. I threw a new platform at him today, and he did not get a lot of time to get acquainted with it. So give him some patience.
okay.
Yep.
How about now?
Yeah,
Seen it?
yeah, go ahead and full screen it, and I think we're good to
Okay.
go.
Perfect. All right. So again, who are we? We are Volli Communications Inc. We are located in the beautiful state of the Midwest Ohio. We're in a city called Pickerington. We're about 15 minutes from downtown Columbus, what you call an outer belt suburb, if anybody's familiar with the state. Founded in 2009, we were purchased by an energy company. Um, Back in 2009, the former name of that company was Digital Telephone Alliance. It was rebranded to Volli Communications in 2011. So we started out, again, 2009, been in business for 15 years. We started out in the wholesale market, providing carrier services to partners like Fortinet. Um, we have network coverage in the United States and Canada with the ability to expand internationally to up to 53 different countries. We offer everything that carriers offer, from toll free, 911, inbound, outbound, um, toll free, switched, Geo-Based as well, which is some products that we'll jump into here in a little bit. Some new products that we have that we feel like are exciting. Um, and I guess where we really try to focus our efforts and capabilities here as a company is in being completely transparent with our customers and our partners to offer a level of engineering that other providers do not. For us, we always say it's never a no. It's let's see what that looks like. Let's design that together to provide a solution to the customer or to the partner that best suits their needs. Um, we don't like to be viewed as a one size fits all. We view ourselves more as the architects of voice, where, if you're sitting down to design a home with your architect doesn't just hand you the blueprints and say this is what you're getting and there is no change in this. It's let's sit down, let's design this together, and that's how we treat each and every one of our customers, because we know that every customer's needs are completely different. Customer service as well, ensuring that customers and partners are responded to in a timely manner, not giving them 24, 48 hours before a response is given. We're trying to respond with whatever issue that they may be experiencing. Simplicity as well. We try to simplify everything down to its core to make sure that the partner or the customer understands exactly what they're going to or can expect with Volli, both from a enablement and then to the actual close and then post close of any sale. And then reliability. We're a 4.9 company here. We hang our hats on being up all the time and providing the level of redundancy that requires to have that sort of reliability as well. So new products. Um, First out of the gate is voice capture. So this is becoming a bigger and bigger sale or opportunity for our partners and our customers. For any of you that are in the telecom space, you know how much of a headache robocall mitigation has become. In fact, there are over 4 billion robocalls received monthly in the US alone. From that, $58 billion are projected in global loss due to fraudulent robocalls in 2023 alone. And that's only expected to increase in 2024. So what is voice capture and why? What is voice capture and why have we decided to implement it as a value add within our network? So first off, it's a human verification. So it differentiates humans from automated callers. So what do we do to ensure that? So with our service, there are two aspects to any phone call. There is the shaken certificate, whether you receive attestation A or B or C. That's really only one stage of a phone call. There's a second phase to that as well, and that's the actual fraud score of a telephone number. So a fraud score for a telephone number can range from 0, which is a perfectly clean, healthy number that, when you make a phone call, it's going to show up as the CNAM that you have selected. Volli Communications, we call from our number, and somebody on the other side sees Volli Communications show up on their caller ID. To 100, which is completely burned, it's going to show up as robo every time. Most carriers won't even process calls with fraud scores that high. Really, though, in the industry, Where you really need to focus your time, effort, and energy is around that 60 and above. That's where your phone calls start showing up as robocall, spam likely, those types of things. So what we do to ensure our customers are not inundated with robocalls on a daily basis, which, let's be honest, you open yourself not only to fraud, taking a phone call, thinking it's one thing, giving up information that you maybe shouldn't have because you were confused of who the call was coming from, or you're getting pulled away from your day-to-day work to answer a phone call that doesn't need to be answered because it's a robocall anyway. So what we do is we allow the customer, based off of a specific trunk for their business, to set a reputation score threshold to where any fraud score from a telephone number coming into our network being processed to the customer, let's say they set that fraud score at 60. So any call coming in, we look at the fraud score and we say, okay, this fraud score is 60. Instead of completing that call to the customer, we're actually sending that call to a voice capture server, requiring the other end to enter 2 random digits, and it's randomized every single time, it's not the same, to enter 2 random digits for that call to be completed. So what that does is it is a true gatekeeper for known robocall and spam callers, because we are blocking the call from even being completed to the customer. So they're not getting inundated with a bunch of unnecessary calls. However, by adding that element of entering the 2 random digits, we understand that there are telephone numbers out there with companies who are legitimate, who are making legitimate calls, but maybe sometime in the past they called someone's cell phone. Someone didn't recognize the number, so they reported it as junk, and it increased their fraud score. Not really their fault, but it's still a phone call that needs to be completed. So by entering those 2 random digits, we understand that it is a human on the other side, and we complete the call so that the customer on the other end can receive the call that maybe they were expecting. So it's an effective mitigation. It blocks unwanted automated calls. It enhances security by only allowing legitimate human interaction phone calls to be processed. And uninterrupted communication provides a secure communication environment. Like I said, you're not having to answer a bunch of unnecessary phone calls that should not have been processed in the first place. So yeah, we're really excited about this. We actually have an enterprise level customer right now that has over 2,200 locations across the country that utilize this on a daily basis, and we're blocking anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 phone calls from even being processed. So it keeps everything on their side, keeps their managers and stuff at these different locations from getting frustrated because they're answering phone calls that they end up just hanging up, the 10, 15 seconds that they've answered it, because they understand that this is not a legitimate phone call. Another new product that we've implemented, we've done toll free for years. Recently, though, we've seen an uptick in what's called Geo-Based toll free routing. So it's another feature that we've now introduced into our product offering as a whole. So if you guys know anything about Geo-Based toll free routing, we allow the individual or the customer who wants to route phone calls based off of the specific caller ID or an NPA that is calling in from, for it to be forwarded to a specific local telephone number. So let's say that you're doing business in Ohio and you want all Ohio-based NPAs or area codes to be routed to a specific 614 area code. It allows us through our portal for them to select any and all NPAs that they want to be routed from that toll-free number to this local number to be routed that way, which is great because customers who are calling into those numbers are being routed to somebody within their time zone, somebody within their area, so that they know that the individual calling in is coming from a localized area, which allows them to answer the calls accordingly based off of the individual's location within the country. And then you have your base, your standard switch toll free. Somebody calls into a toll free number, and it is forwarded to a local TN as well. Two different options, but something that is offered standard within our toll free offering here at Volli Communications.
And Josh, is this something that the that they can control, or do they have to email us, or is there any kind of portal that they can use to?
Yes,
How does that work? What's the
excellent question.
process look like from a customer perspective?
Yep. So a lot of times right now, especially with the geo-based, it's usually a ticket saying, "Hey, I want all these numbers from this NPA to be forwarded here." With Volli Communications, like we do with every other product that we offer, we put all the power into the customer's hands. So yes, we do offer a portal where they can handle both traditional switch toll-free or even set up their own geo-based routing as well. All with the click of a mouse. All can be controlled, edited, deleted whenever they want to, however they want to, and as many times as they want to. And on top of that, they're also able to add additional toll-free numbers within their portal as well. So, business is expanding. Maybe they've got a new call center out west now, and they want to add a toll-free number there. Instead of reaching out to us to say, "Hey, I need to purchase a new toll-free number," they just go through the portal and they can actually purchase the entire. They can purchase the number there, set up the geo-based routing, everything right there from their portal. Great question. And then we have our standard product offering. So for a while, most people just saw Volli Communications as the SIP trunking people. Whereas it is our strongest, most mature product, and it's what powers everything that we do. It's not the only thing that we do. We are an all-in voice provider. We are a one-stop shop for everything voice. So we do UCaaS, we do contact center light, which is conveniently built within the UCaaS solution. And when I say contact center light, these are for customers who are looking for contact center features, but not for a full-fledged contact center solution. Maybe they have a sales department or customer service department or something like that where they want to be able to set up agents within that, get all of the call analytics, whisper barge, those types of features. All of that is conveniently built within a singular platform, which is great because it gives you those sort of features to help grow your business without investing into an expensive contact center solution. But also it allows you to stay within a singular portal and not have to jump from solution to solution to do different things. Our UC product offers all the major features out there that you would expect from any unified communications product with a great user interface to match it. So, auto attendance, video conferencing, SMS, call reporting, call recording, extension to extension dialing, auto conferencing, soft phone clients, web phone clients for Android, PC, Mac, and Apple, you name it, we have it. There's not a feature out there that the other major providers in the UC space provides that we can't provide. And within that ties, like I said, our vast network of carriers as well. Another thing that kind of sets us apart is we are an aggregator within our network of every major tier one carrier within the country. So, we have Cinch, we have Verizon, we have Lumen, we have Peerless, we have Bandwidth, we have Comwave, which is now Rogers up in Canada.
Shout out to all of our great partners.
Yeah, all of our great partners. So with us, it's not a all eggs in one basket solution. So we allow so much flexibility when it comes to not only porting numbers, but purchasing numbers, routing numbers. We function with a true LCR where we're not just reliant on one carrier's termination rates, right? We're able to implement all 7 carriers, which is great as well because let's say one of the carriers is sort of having a bad day in an area of the country. So to ensure that calls are still terminating for our customers, we have the ability to route around that carrier to other carriers to ensure that calls are still terminating so that customers can still function and get a hold of their customers. So that's what we call Volli Business. That is our UC solution. And we can go deeper into these solutions. I'm always happy to provide demos or proof of concept type accounts for any and all partners who want to see, touch, feel, experience the solution to see how it functions. These all can be set up whenever is most convenient for you. That's something we are more than happy to provide.
Josh, we do have one question. We got a question from Jared from OneSource, wanting to know if Volli has any limitations when it comes to integrating with customers' existing equipment.
It's a fantastic question, Jared, and I thank you so much for that. That's the beautiful thing about Volli as well. We again, it's that whole um, architectural approach that we take to voice as a whole. So we have a lot of partners out there who are Mitel shops or Cisco shops or 3CX shops, and they're looking for a carrier or they're looking for SIP trunks. We have interopted to date with 7 to 10 major solutions out there. So we've done Avaya, we've done Mitel, Metel, 3CX, ShoreTel, old AdTrans solutions, Grand Streams, a number of ATAs. You name it, we can trunk to it, is sort of our motto. So
What about on the hardware side?
on the hardware side as well, that's a great question. So on the Volli business solution, we work with somewhere north of 30 different manufacturers when it comes to actual physical devices. So, if you have Avaya phones or Cisco phones or Grandstream phones, Polycoms, Yealinks, Hightex, Snoms, you name it. So we allow customers to see if the existing hardware will work, there's no sense in us trying to sell you hardware. Let's just keep your existing hardware in place. Let's flash it. Let's get it registered over to the new platform, and you're good to go. You've now saved X amount of dollars by not having to invest in a bunch of new hardware. And now you're on a next generation platform with phones that you're familiar with. So yeah, another great question. It's again, we're not here to sell you what we think that you need. We're here to provide you a solution that best suits your customers' needs. And whatever that looks like, that's what Volli's here to help. Let's design this together to give you a complete solution. And we're never going to be here to oversell you on things that you just don't need. We're here to help reduce cost and get customers migrated to the next generation of communication. Two great questions. Thank you. Any other ones before we head off to the next?
No, I think we can go ahead and move on.
Excellent. So UC, Volli Business, where do we shine? So SMB is where we really like to focus our time and effort. Now, we have customers out there right now that have, 5, 6, 700 employees. But what we feel like as a company, and we can handle those customers no problem. Again, with the platform and the ability to do a multi-site type solution because of the way that the platform allows you to identify different sites and locations. It works seamlessly with those uh, larger commercial to even enterprise level customers. But what we felt like as a company has really been ignored or forgotten is that SMB market. And we're talking like it says 99 here, but I'd even venture to say 2 to 150 to 175 seats. These types of customers, it's um, it's what made a lot of these large companies big, but it's the market now that they tend to forget because they're focused on enterprise and large commercial and global and multi-location or multi-tenant. So where Volli wants to shine is come back to that market because we know that that market's the backbone of the country, right? There's so many small to medium-sized businesses that power everything that we do in this country, and who am I to sit here and say that they shouldn't have the same sort of experience and customer service, but then also in product and innovation that these large enterprise customers have. So we want to be able to provide that same experience, that same technology to these smaller companies and the partners that really focus on those to give them and their customers exactly what they need. So that's where we really like to shine with the UC product is that small to medium size business. Again, we can handle the enterprise and we do, but we really want to support the partners who are looking for a home for their UC customers where they don't feel like they're just getting not necessarily ignored, but not getting the level of attention that they deserve on a day-to-day basis from these other providers, right? So I always say at the end of the day, it's not the customer's fault that they are the size that they are. They're trying to provide a service for their customers, and and it's that business that puts food on their table, a house or a roof over their head, clothes on their kids' back, and all that. So I'm not going to sit here and say, well, you're too small for me to be concerned with. I'm here to say, you have a home here at Volli Communications, and we're going to provide you the same level of care that all these other larger customers get from these other providers. So we really try to hone in on reducing their Capex spend, right? Not oversubscribing them with a bunch of features and functionalities that they're never going to use. Really fine tuning the solution to best suit their specific needs. In fact, just last week, we migrated a customer that only has 3 employees, and they were just looking for a home and they needed a voice solution. We got them spun up and ready to go in 5 days, and that included porting. So again, that we're going to give that same level of effort to them as we would to somebody who says, I got 200 employees. At the end of the day, every customer is important, and they should get that same level of care. So Volli Connect. This is the product that sort of powers everything that we do. So this is our SIP solution. Again, this is that flexible product that powers a lot of different solutions there today. It is what powers Fortinet. So for those who don't know, Volli is actually the exclusive provider for all things FortiVoice on premise and in the cloud. We provide their backbone when it comes to SIP trunking and carrier services. So the beautiful thing for our customers is the same thing that powers a global company like Fortinet is the same thing that would power your customers as well. So you get the same level of features and functionality that these global enterprise partners have. You get the benefit of everything that we do for them. So again, it ties into just about any solution that's out there today. So if you have a lot of legacy customers out there that are utilizing Avaya systems or Mitel systems or 3CX systems or Fortinet system, whatever it may be, and you're looking for a new home for SIP, Volli Connect is the solution for you. It gives you all the features and functionality that you've come to know, but we put a lot more power into the customer's hands by the portal that we provide them. Again, allowing them to purchase their own numbers, allowing them to set up their own switch toll-free, to set up their own Geo-Based toll-free, to pull all their own call records, to manage their own trunks, all these types of things, we give them the power to do from their portal. It's they're paying the bill every month. I'm not. So I'm not going to sit there and limit to them and what they can do. Now, can we do all these things for them? Absolutely. We tell all of our partners and our customers we can be as involved or uninvolved as you need us to be. But within all of this, we try to provide them with a level of customer service that they don't experience anywhere else. And mainly when it comes to anything within the network world, you're sort of made or broke when it comes to the entire porting process. And that's sort of where we shine as well. So, most of these customers, when they go to port numbers, they don't know why their numbers are getting rejected. They don't understand rejection codes. They don't understand multi-carrier or any of that. Let us manage that for you. We'll take care of the pendings, rejections, multi-carrier type things, but we're also very detailed. If a number is rejected, here's why it's rejected. Here's what you need to do to remedy that. But then on top of that, we're giving as much power to the customer to control the porting process. So we understand that companies function at different times and their peak hours are different from everybody else's. So instead of saying your numbers are porting at this time, you're going to have to make do. We allow the customer to say, I would like to port on this day up to 30 days out. But then on that day, we allow them to choose their port time between 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. So they can choose an off-peak hour to port their numbers to ensure that it's not affecting their business during peak hours. Make sure that the numbers are tested and are functioning, but then also gives them some time to adjust things if they need to. But again, we're putting as much power into the customer's hands as we possibly can. On top of that, again, we're a complete solution. So we offer 911 within our solution as well. So you don't have to add an additional layer with another partner to provide 911. We do a true pass-through of how you want to process 911. So we do PID flow. So if you're sending us, more of that dynamic 911, we're passing that through to the correct PSAP. If you just want your traditional ELIN where you're putting in a physical address, we do that as well. But again, we're giving the customer control to set their 911 addresses within their portal for all of their telephone numbers that require it. So again, just another level of care that we're taking for our customers to ensure that Volli is sort of the only place they need to come to get a complete solution when it comes to voice. On top of that, with the Connect as well, we do offer a full fax solution. We can do traditional T38, we can do eFax. However you want to do that, we manage and handle that in-house as well. We're not outsourcing any of that. That is all done through Volli Communications. And then on top of that as well, we offer flexible packages. We understand that some customers are not heavy volume users, so why should they have to pay for a call path with a bunch of quote unquote unlimited minutes that they'll never utilize or use? So why don't we just not charge them for a SIP trunk and just put them on a metered plan and they just pay for the minutes they actually use? Or let's say that it's a customer that has an established amount of call path, let's call it 20, but they're busy one day out of the week and they need additional 5 call paths. So what we do, instead of charging them for all 5 for the month, we just burst them the additional call paths during their busy time, only charge them for the usage that they had, and keep them at their contractual rate so they're not getting overcharged or overspending on unnecessary call paths each month. So again, another level of flexibility for the customer to sort of fine tune the solution to their specific needs.
Now, one question that we did get was, obviously, you went over our UC, and we do have more of a contact center light. So some of those companies out there that do need more of a in-depth contact center, but the customer still would like to utilize the network. What kind of options are there available for someone that wants to utilize, let's say, like a Nextiva or an Avaya, but they also want to utilize the Volli SIP network?
Yeah, great question. And we currently do that with some customers now. So we have enterprise customers that have multiple solutions that power their company as a whole. Because we understand that enterprise customers, it's not with them. It's not ever a one size fits all. It's like this contact center solution best suits the call center, but then this voice product best suits the locations, or this solution best fits the headquarters. With Volli, because we are completely platform agnostic when it comes to providing network, you can choose multitude of solutions, but carry it all onto Volli's network. And this is a great benefit for customers because it keeps all of their traffic on a single network. So that's twofold. A lot of their calls are now on net, which doesn't cost them a dime. So anytime you're on a multi-solution, multi-trunk solution, then let's say that a call comes into your contact center, it comes in on one trunk, but then it has to be transferred to maybe a store location. Now you've bounced off the contact center's trunk onto whoever's providing the solution for the store. So now you're getting charged for the call when it came into the contact center. Now you're getting charged for the call because it's left the contact center. Now you're getting charged because it's now at this location. Now it transfers from this location back. So now you're bouncing trunk to trunk to trunk to trunk, and you're getting charged at every point. With Volli, bring as many solutions as you want, put it all on one single network. Now we've drastically reduced your costs because we're keeping a lot of your traffic on net. But then we're able to then fine tune the number of concurrent calls across the entire organization, right? So now we're fine tuning how many actual call paths you need, and all of these. But then on top of that, now all your DIDs and everything reside with a single carrier. So you're not having to reach out to multiple carriers to say, well, where's the problem reside? Is it here or is it there? Well, I don't know. I'm telling you it's not here. Okay, great. Now I've got to contact these guys because they have a different carrier for this solution. With Volli, it would be a single point of contact for anything when it comes to a voice related problem, because so that way you're not bouncing from company to company. You're getting your issues resolved in a much more timely manner so that you can get back to business as it needs to be and functional. Great question. And did that answer your question?
Yeah, I think that answers it perfectly.
Okay. And then on top of that as well, because of all of the capabilities we have natively built within SIPs, it allows you to do cross-platform communication. So extension to extension dialing. Let's say you have an Avaya system and you're utilizing Microsoft Teams for your headquarters. Instead of dialing a 10-digit number, you just dial their standard extension, and we do the processing on the back end of SIPs. You just dial the 3-digit. You just think, hey, good to go. Now you're communicating platform to platform without having to dial someone's full 10-digit number. We're just handling all of that natively behind the scenes for you. So again, it allows for a more simplistic approach to communications regardless of solution.
And awesome. Thank you, Josh. And what kind of a, it, now I know we, on the UC side, it's more of an SMB, but what's an ideal customer look like for the SIP trunking side?
Oh, every customer, and we have customers probably in every vertical. We do a lot of K-12. We do healthcare. We do enterprise. We do retail. Um, you name it. There's probably not a customer in that vertical that we don't provide um, SIP trunking in some aspect for. So any and all size customers are welcome here. And again, we don't care what the other end solution is. If interoperability is capable, the answer for us, can you provide? Yes, the answer is yes. And it's just a simple interop. And we allow so many different avenues for customers to utilize us. You know, you can do registering directly to our data centers. You can do IP off. We can proxy the audio via RTP servers. We can proxy it directly with the carrier. It really tell us how you want it to function and fit, and that's how we'll do it.
Now, you did mention something a little while ago, and I know it's kind of what's taken over our industry the past year or so, but Teams. What does Volley have on that side of things for
I'm
Microsoft
glad you
Teams?
asked that because that's my very next
Well,
slide.
look at that. Almost like I knew what was coming up or something.
So yeah, and we're starting to see this a lot more in a multitude of different verticals. Microsoft Team has become the fastest growing software, if you want to call it, since DOS. Today, they have north of 300 million active users utilizing Team in some aspect. And the beautiful thing, I think, about Teams and just enabling voice within Teams is you're not having to teach the customer a new product, right? They spend so much time within the Microsoft Teams environment. They're so familiar with the app. To simply enable voice within the native Teams app is becoming more and more of a no-brainer for customers. So that's what we offer here as well. It's a true direct routing solution. Yes, Operator Connect is on our roadmap, but again, we try to provide flexibility with our solution, and we feel like direct routing is the most flexible approach to the Teams voice solution, allowing customers to manipulate and change as much as they possibly can, doing more of a concurrent call model as well, so they're not oversubscribed on call paths or anything like that. So that's why we've taken this approach first and foremost. And also, it's what powers our resale partners like your Fortinets and stuff of the world. That this is what they want to provide to their customers. So this can be sold in a multitude of different ways, right? It can be sold as a standalone product where it is the voice solution for the customer. It can be sold as a complementary product where maybe it's just their headquarters that utilize Teams for voice. We have customers that are like that. Their retail locations use traditional cloud-based phone solution, but then their headquarters, all of their employees use Teams, so they just enable Teams voice for that, right? So you're getting the same sort of functionality and features that a traditional UC product does without having to retrain your customer or your to have your customers retrain their employees on a new app, a new download, or anything like that. On top of that, we can provide dynamic 911 through Teams as well. Teams is sort of a cool environment that accepts bit flow. So let's say that you're a university or a K-12 school and you're utilizing Teams for voice and you dial 911. Instead of just saying, they've called from 790 Windmiller Drive, we're saying they're called from 790 Windmiller Drive, floor 4, conference room C. And the nice thing about the PID flow is that we're actively updating emergency services as the individual moves through the building. Maybe they called from the fourth floor, but as emergency services are on their way, they've transitioned down to the first floor. Now they're in a classroom C. So we're now saying they're on the first floor in classroom C. So it gives emergency services direct location for the individual who dialed 911, which is great because it expedites getting emergency services where they need to be faster, which is great, especially for the individual calling 911. But again, all of this is happening natively within the Teams app. There is nothing that you need to download within Teams. It's just simply enabling calling within Microsoft Teams. And again, we treat the Teams direct routing solution like you would a traditional UC. If you want to do, I have 200 employees, I have 200 license with 200 call paths. Great, we can set you up and we do completely bundled packages. But maybe it's 200 employees and you want to do a 5-to-1 call path ratio. Great, we can do that as well. So it gives you as much flexibility for the customer as possible while reducing costs, but also giving them, again, a next generation sort of communications. And again, with the team solution, it can work across platforms, extension to extension dialing from Teams to another solution. So it also allows you to migrate your customers to a new solution. It's slower. You're not having to do it at all in one fell swoop. You can do it different departments or whatever. Maybe it's just, again, headquarters that wants to do this. Cool, let's put you on this solution, but let's put you on the Volli network for the rest of your locations, so that you have a more simplistic approach to communications.
Great. Now I know people. I think this has been a great presentation showing kind of everybody what it is that we do. I know that there's sometimes confusion, and it's nice to be able to have a format like this and kind of just shout it from the rooftop. So now it's it's me, you, but there is definitely other people in the background that are supporting the channel. So who else kind of helps make this whole thing work, and who's for any of our partners that are watching, who are some other people that they can keep their eyes out for that will be helping them, assist them along the way.
Yeah, great question. So, Volli takes a different approach to how we support partners and customers. Customer experience is paramount. Yeah, we understand, especially for our partners. But what we feel like is equally as important is the partner experience. If the partner is getting everything that they need from the supplier to support their customers, then it's a trickle down effect, right? I give my partners all the tools that they need to succeed for their customers. So if they're getting everything that they need from me, then they're giving everything that they need to their customers. So we take more of a holistic approach when it comes to support here at Volli Communications, where it's not a singular person that supports you, it's the entire team that supports you in some aspect. And that's how, again, that we differentiate ourselves from others in the market. You're getting a full-on company, hands-on approach to your customers and to our partners. So there are a few people, myself being the head of all channel here, I want to make sure that the partners within channel, we are exclusive to Intelisys. Intelisys is the only TSD that we work with. And we feel like that's important because we feel like we don't want to be the product to just pollute the market with the name to grab as many customers as we possibly can. We want to ensure that any partner that we or TSD that we partner with gets our full undivided attention, and the partners that sell through them get our full undivided attention. So we're not stretching ourselves too thin by, again, trying to pollute the market with our product. So we are exclusive to Intelisys. They get 100% of our focus when it comes to TSD, and all the partners that sell through Intelisys will get 100% of our focus as well. And I'm sure there are several business development managers that have worked with us in the past that can attest to that, or partners that have done deals with us that have said, this experience is different. Volli really ensures that you have everything that you need up until the day that the customer goes live, but then past that, giving them a continued level of support on a day-to-day basis, and in a timely manner. So again, exclusive to Intelisys. We love their team and the support that they give us on a daily basis, and we want to reciprocate that for their partners as well, ensure that they get the best experience that they possibly can and get things turned around in a timely manner. Again, I'll brag on the team here again. Deal registration comes in, we're getting quotes back to the partners within 15-20 minutes. They're not waiting on us unless there's some specific questions that we're trying to get clarification on, that the quoting process is turned around day of. Pre-sale, post-sale, again, it's just a small portion of the team. Most of everything is done behind the scenes, where we're engaging the appropriate individuals to make sure that everything is answered in a timely manner. But we put all the people on here that most of you are familiar with, to put a face to a name, or a name to a face, I should say.
Awesome. Well, everybody, thank you
Yeah.
for joining us today for the live stream. Josh is, as he said, he's here to just make sure the entire team is supported, but also make sure the entire partner community is supported. So please do not hesitate to reach out to anybody on the team. It does not look like we had any more questions come in, but for everybody that did send questions, thank you so much. This was great. Yeah. Real quick though, and I'm dropping this one on Josh. I want Josh to grab his camera and show everybody all the Hulk stuff in his office.
Oh gosh. All right, give me 1 second.
Come on.
So for those of you who don't know me, I am I'm a nerd, proudly. But it's a different level of nerddom when it comes to the Incredible Hulk. So, quick backstory. So, I grew up in the country, in the middle of nowhere, in Hocking Hills, Ohio. Population when I was growing up was like 5,000-6,000 people, very small. It's exploded because of COVID. But I grew up in the middle of nowhere. We didn't have our first television until I was in third grade. I remember when my dad purchased it. But then the following weekend, there is an event down in Nelsonville, Ohio. It was called the Paul Bunyan Festival. Again, that screams Midwest Southern for you. And at the Paul Bunyan Festival, there was a little booth that was selling satellite television when it first came on the scene. It was called Prime Star. This is before DirecTV purchased them. My dad purchased Prime Star. And I remember when we went live the first night to watch television on TV Land, it was Lou Ferrigno's Hulk series. So it's one of my earliest childhood memories, and it's a memory I cherish with my dad, and it's sort of what has fostered my obsession with the Green Monster. So that being said, so my wife doesn't allow me to have any of this at home. She says that you're an adult, and I don't want this in the house because we are not children around here. So it all sits here at my office. But it goes from wall to wall to over the doorway to right directly in front of me and back. So it's an obsession, I would say. Maybe not healthy,
I love
but
it.
it's always good to have a hobby. Mine consists of three things: uh, the Ohio State Buckeyes, golf, and the Incredible Hulk. So,
Awesome. Well, Will Slappy always says to put something in the background of your camera so it gets people talking. So I think there's plenty of Hulk there to get the talking going. So looks like I'm having issues with my camera. So either way, everybody, thank you for joining. Appreciate the questions. I hope everybody has a great rest of the day.
yes, thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time.